Hello everyone, today our group will present about using power ethically and effectively. There are 5 parts in our presentations. First is we will give definitions of power. Next is the level of using power. Thirdly is 5 sources of power. Fourth is influence strategies and tactics. And last but not least, we will provide a case study to understand more about the theories. My name is Minh Chao and I will present the first part. There are many definitions about power and each leader would define it in different ways. Like for example, leader is define power is the opportunity to build, to create, to nudge history in a different directions. And other is define power the ability to master human, informational or material resources to get something done. Leadership does not exist without power. While an individual can exercise power without being a leader, but an individual may not be a leader without power. Therefore, leader must develop the proper pace of organization power in order to use it effectively in influence others. And not only leader can influence others, but the followers also influence leader. Like followers have equally important roles in the success of the organization. Therefore, influence like is a mutual influence. Leader and follower influence each other, and both of them can possess power. And besides that, Georgie mentioned that power is neither good or bad. It depends on how we using that the power and whether it's functional or dysfunctional. When power is used in an ethical way for fair purpose, there is nothing wrong with the definition power that it carries. Effective leader is not based on having power, but rather on how we use the power. And next, I will continue with the why leaders should use power ethically and effectively. And leadership has significant impact on the ethical decision making because they have like the power to motivate others and enforce the organization norms, policy, and viewpoint. They do not just simply allow employees to follow their moral codes, but also have to implement and reinforce shared ethical conduct for employees. Leaders conduct the employee through two ways: communication, reinforcement, and decision making. And the influence of ethically and effective leadership extends to influence organizational member turnover intention and commitment through the ethical climate. This behavior spreads through the work context and the process of social contagion in order to shape the ethical climate, which in return to contribute the member commitment and less turnover intention. And lastly, Hannah also addressed that using power effectively could make followers recognize their duty orientation and feeling more obligation to a work group. Like for example, when you feel that your boss is making the right decision, give the right strategies for the team, and respect other team members. You feel that you can learn more about your boss, your contribution is recognized, and you would like to contribute more for your team, your company, and improve your performance to achieve the goals. Okay, and next, Kung will continue with level of using power.
Thanks Mitchell for very useful information. Hi guys, my name is Kuon. This is my honor to see you guys here. In the last slide, Mitchell already presented to you guys about the importance of the leadership power and the reason why leadership should use their power effectively and ethically. But how? How a person can aware that how much power they have in order to execute it. So before all of that, you have to be aware of your position, your role, so that you know what kind of power you have in your hand in order to perform it appropriately and effectively in an organization. So in this slide, I would like to present to you guys about level of using power, which I already summarized in 3 stages. These are organizational level power, team power, and individual level power. So let's move on to the first one. Organizational level power, also known as macro level power, is the ability to influence people in an organization in order to lead them towards certain goals. Also, this power also shows as rule setting, law setting, procedure, etc. In fact, Nicole 1988 already stated that macro leadership has the ability to use own resources and authority to create a successful organization. For example, in my company, this is our 3 years in business, but in the very first day of the business, there was no regulations, no procedures, no laws, so everything was a mess, and nobody know what to do and where to follow. So at that time, my former CEO has used all of her authority and resources to create the business regulation and procedure in order to make the business run smoothly and effectively. This kind of role is very important because it can be decided whether the business fail or not, fail or succeeds. Secondly, this is team leader power. Team leader power is the ability to influence others by the strength of your experience and expertise. Also, the ability to share and link your view and goals with others. I would like to nominate myself in this example because I am currently the team leader in my company. So in order to influence and leading people, I have to perform myself at the best. Also, I have to be their mentor whenever they need me. For example, like I have to show them how to work and showing to them like how the work is done and sharing them my experience. So also by sharing my views and goals, I can be a coalition with them in order to make them to make us at a successful team in order to achieve the same goals. Last but not least, it's the individual level power. So according to Quinn et al. 2015, individual level power is personal characteristics that influence each other as well as the resources that an organization have in order to grow this relationship. For example, in my company, we have a very talented staff. He very he do his job very well. He disciplined. He very helpful and friendly. Let's call him a person A. And then one day we have a person B, which is a newbie, move from another organization. So I call it person B. So he is new. He had just moved from other companies, so it takes time for him to get used to the new environment. So we decided to let person A have person B. And time passed by, A and B become a friend, and all I can see the person B have followed the company procedure and the regulation very smoothly, and he fit in the workplace environment very quickly. This is because the person A has influenced person B behaviors so that the person B doesn't do something otherwise. So yes, this is the all three steps that you have to remember. And let's move on to the next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kung, for your presentation. Hello, my name is Phương Anh, and now I will talk about the 5 sources of power. There are 5 sources of power, as you can see, which is position power, opportunity power, wealth power, expert power, and leadership power. The first one is position power. This is the power that this can be called the legitimate power, which is the power that derives from the formal roles and authority. This source of power indicates that the leader can make demands and can expect compliance from others within the scope of their authority. And the organizational member will usually agree to the leader authority in support of the organization vision and value. The second one is the opportunity power. This is the power that presents to someone by reason of being in the right place at the right time. There are many cases that people of equal skill and encouragement who have not been equally successful, because some were in the circumstance of organization that offer more opportunity than others. Sometimes an opportunity missed can be life-changing. So the one that know when and how they need to seize the opportunities will be more powerful than others. The Third one is the wealth power. When someone obtains the ability to control or manage money, they are possessing the wealth power. For example, executives who control large sources of funds or public officials can allocate the financial resources to others. And sometimes the wealth power and position power are closely related. The fourth one is the expert power. This is the power you have when you obtain the expertise or the knowledge in a special field or in a special circumstance. Expert power usually appears when the leader is chosen by juniors because of possessing superior expertise, which is related to the task or the activity under consideration. Especially, the more critical the information supported the foundation of expert power, and the fewer the replaces sources of such information, the greater the power. Moreover, the person with expert power needs to show the right type of ability, or he or she must be recognized as someone with credibility, trustworthiness, and honesty, as well as get access to the required information. The final one is the relationship power. This power can be divided into two sources. Your personal characteristic, which can be called reference power, and your social network, referred to as network power. The reference power emerges when a leader has the ability to affect other behavior because of the admiration and respect of others for his or her characteristics such as charisma, trustworthiness, or admirability. For example, suppose you are friends with your boss and one day she asks you to take on a special project that you do not like. To anyone else, you would decline the request, but because of your special relationship with this individual, you can do it as a favor. And in this instance, your boss has power over you, and you, because of your positive relationship. The network power, on the other hand, is the power that leaders gain to their formal and informal network, both inside and outside the organization. By developing the relationship with people in different function groups, management levels, geographic location, and organization, will provide access to a larger variety of resources. Next will be Ms. Phượng, who will talk about the influence strategy and tactics.
Hello everyone, my name is Phương, and now I will present for you about influence, strategy, and tactics. Different tactics may be approached in different situations. It depending on the circumstance. Many common influence tactics depend on the elements of position of power. For example, the first one is legitimate authority. In this one, we giving directives with the expectation that they will be carried out. The second one is upward appeal. In this one, we giving direction and indicating that they are what higher management wanted done. The third one is cooptation. In this one, we inviting a individual into a group to attempt to change their perspective. The next one is bargaining exchange. In this one, we offering a reward or incentive for following a directive. The next one is pressure. We treat a punitive action if the directive is not followed. Next is inspiration appeal. In this one, we are appealing to core values to encourage cooperation. And about the personal appeal, we are appealing to personal relationship cooperation. The next one is ingratiation. In this way, we attempt to increase positive feeling as a way to increase personal relationship power. The next one is rational persuasion. In this way, we using the logical arguments as a justification for cooperation. Now, the last one is coalition formation. We gathering additional stakeholders to support proposal. Now, move to the next slide in how to increase power and influence. The first one is the supervisor. We need to encourage supervisors to discuss about the problem that they are facing, then support them to solve it. Next, we also need to provide constructive feedback on things which supervisor do, and we also need to demonstrate for how their effort leads to concerned outcomes. With the peer, the first one we need to listening and understanding their problem and finding ways to help them reach their goals. We also need to give useful information for them to solve their problem. About the subordinates, we need to increase the trust by listening to the concerns and encouraging them to share their idea. We also need to have to solve problems that may be beyond their ability or experience. Next, my partner Yoon will continue the presentation.
It's Yoon, and now I will introduce about our case study that we use to apply the theory. So this is Mr. Nam Nguyen, who currently the directors of the garment manufacturing in Ho Chi Minh City, and he has started his business since 2000. So it easily can understand where his first source of powers is his position. He's the owners and also directors of the company. Secondly, he has more than 20 years experience in this industry. With that long experience, he got the trust from the others. Not only that, he also have the good relationship with his partnership suppliers and also his worker. So to prove that, he has increased the company from the small side, about 20 people, to increase it to 600 people at the moment. So that's also proof that he got the powers from his relationship. So move on to how he influenced the others, but is inspired commitment. Mr. Nam believes that when the workers' life is settled down, which means that they don't have to worry much about the money, don't have to worry much about their daily life. They have more focus on what they work and more commitment to the company. So that's the reason why he provides the loans for his workers who have worked for a long time, to support them about the financial, to build a house, or support their children to go to school. So the worker feel more comfortable and commit to the company. Secondly, building power by building trust, which means like he building the strong network in the company. He sharing his power to his subordinates to that together with him control the company, not only him who the one who leads. If the company have any struggles, any problems, he is the one who sit there with them, listen to the problems and discuss together to find out the best solution for the company to overcome the difficult. So thirdly and finally, work for you, not for me or anyone. In what he said to his workers, in his company, the workers is paid by pieces rate. Meaning the more production you work, the more the production, the more you get. So the worker will feel more responsibility for themselves for work, and they also have been considered to increase the yearly wage if they have the good number of productions, good qualities. So this is the end of our presentation, and this is our reference list. Thank you for your listening, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask us. We hope that you always stay safe and healthy. Thank you and goodbye.